Sound beings and shalom to everyone that is taking the time to view this screening, this lesson on the day, I guess you can say. Let us start with prayer. Baba Yahweh, well, let me start with saying to Emmanuel, because you got to go through him first. Emmanuel, we pray to Baba Yahweh, Baba Yahweh, to you and through you on this lesson today. Awareness, I guess, in a sense too. Any mentioning, I don't think it will be in this case, but any mentioning of, please block any power and life giving to any idols that may be mentioned. May this also be received in love and learning. And we just thank you, praise you, and adore you and love you as we go through this in fellowship, one to another. Selah. All right. A popular subject, as you can see, is, I'd say a conception or misconception that's going on, is the law, about the laws they've been nailed to the cross and that they're done away with. And, as you can see right here, get a quick shout out to the Book of Yahweh, as well as the New English Bible with Apocrypha, and then underneath there is Strong's Concordance. You may zoom in a little bit, but it says expanded, exhausted concordance of the Bible, red letter edition. All right, so back to this. As you can see, we have the subjects here. Now, according to Colossians 2:14, it mentions what is done away with, and what it's saying is the laws of sin have been done away with. It's not talking about the law that the Father has put in or has established. Not one jot or tittle. Heaven and earth will pass away before one jot or tittle passes from His word. So that means the crossing of the T or the dotting of the I. Now, what was nailed to the tree, and it says it plain: penalty and death from us opposing the law. And that applies to this day to people that are opposing the law. That's where your answer comes in. And that, once again, this goes back to what Apostle Kepha was saying about, or Kepha was saying about, what you have to be careful of Paul's words, because it can be misconstrued. Personally, I'm fine if you just keep on reading. He goes to explain what he understands, that his own words can be confusing, and he explains it and straightens it out. So I'm not understanding that, the misconception here. I mean, especially in this one, he says it plain. What has been nailed to the cross, and or the stake or the tree, because in Acts, Kepha says it was a tree. So I like that better, because tree of life. Now, it also says, and that's in 14. In 15, it goes on to the power and authority that the adversary had. By doing so, those that got bonded and shamed. Now, in the book of Yahweh, it calls it principalities, and as you can see, in the Orthodox Jewish Bible, it says rulers or authorities, which is the beast. I've been given a vision about that. In the Aramaic Bible, in plain English, it calls it principalities and powers. Same as, Book of Yahweh. Now, this is where this lovely butte comes in, is it says cosmic powers and authorities, which would also be the beast, our government, NASA, all this astrology, horoscopes. What is that? Reading of the cards, and that list goes on and on. I found that very interesting, and that's really where my vision had. The vision that was given to me was showing cosmic powers that are trying to make establishments. So I really want y'all to take that in. I put the English Bible, but it's called the New English Bible. It was printed in like 1940 something, if I remember correctly. I have to go back and look. Now, was Haya's laws made flesh? Yes, they were. It says it plainly in the Bible, or in his word. He says it plainly, or Haya says it plainly. In Ezekiel 36:26, Haya states that this, and I put New Testament because now it's making sense as far as it being called the New Testament, because that involves Emmanuel, or Yeshua, or Yeshua, actually. Reason being is because Baba says that Baba is going to give a new spirit, which would be Emmanuel Yeshua, which in goes along with heart of stone. He said, Baba said, we'll give a heart of stone, turn a heart of stone to a heart of flesh. In that, talking about the laws, because remember, they got brought down and by Moshe or Moses in stone. What happened? First time, seen that we didn't act right, so he broke them. Had to go back up there. Fasting again. That was a whole 80 days of fasting. So he put in the work for us. Moshe did too. That's a lot of days fasting in my world. And the first 40 was a lot, let alone another 40. Now, back to Emmanuel Yeshua. In Hebrews, well, let me rewind a little bit. Haya says that the law that he in Hebrews 8 and 10, that he's going to put the laws in our hearts, and you will be my people. This is the reason why why Baba continuously says, if you love me, you will keep my commandments. You will keep my laws. This is also pertaining to the covenant with Ibrahim. That's part of it. In receiving the covenant was the gift of the Spirit. What happened when Emmanuel Yeshua got immersed? The Spirit came down in the form of a dove. So we got to. So if you're saying, really, in a sense, when you saying, I'm gonna get to that here in a minute. Hold on, I'm moving too fast. Then You have Hebrews 4:8 where it says, Yeshua caused us to rest in obedience to the law. 4 verses later, it says that Yahuwah, word, are living. When made the word to flesh, that means he made it living. Yeshua is the living word, who is also our high priest and king. In a Colossians 3:16, I just found that kind of, I guess, parallel. John 3:16 says Yeshua's words teaching, let Yeshua's words / teachings dwell richly in you. Richly. Let's keep that in mind, people. And now let the weak say I am strong. Let the poor say I am rich. Because of them laws, bruh. That's how you love y'all. That's how you love y'all. That's how you love y'all. You love y'all. That's the reason why you got to go through Yeshua to get to y'all. And I know a lot of people be like, "Oh, there's a Christian song." It sure is, and I'm singing it lovingly, because it also says in this one to sing psalms and sings. It doesn't matter who it came from. It's the fact that who I'm singing it to. Now it said in Luke. Now what was concerning the law? What was Yeshua's teaching? Yeshua's teaching comes from Luke chapter, starts with 19, if I remember right, but I'm concentrating more on the laws in particular, where the rich man talks to Ibrahim, and that's who Baba Yahweh started the covenant with. What did he say? What did he tell the rich man? He said they have Moshe and the prophets. That means you got the law and the prophets. So if you don't have, you can't have these you can't say he got nailed on the cross or that it got done away with. If it wasn't for the law, I'm finding out, Father Baba has been showing me all kinds of just scriptures referring back to the laws and keeping of the laws, and how in actuality, if you're following the laws, yes, you are set free. You are set free from the penalties and the penalties of transgressing the law, because you're in the law. You don't get pulled over for doing the speed limit. You get pulled over for going past the speed limit. Or usually it's like significantly past. They'll let you get away with about 5, maybe even 7. But past that, yeah, you asking for it. Well, we are opposed to the law. When you're saying that it's done away with, you are opposing the law. You're not upholding it. That ain't even what was said. Like I said, I'm not understanding this. Why everybody's saying, y'all putting words in that man's mouth. Y'all lying on him. That is not what was said. If that's what Apostle Paul was saying, or Shaul, why did Why did Emmanuel Yeshua personally tell Apostle Andrew to recruit him? Apostle Paul even said himself that he did not know the law. He did not know that he was sinning until he met the law, until he read got introduced to the law. That's what caused his flesh to wake up, because now his flesh knew that that what he was doing was sinful or transgression. And that's the reason why he was steadily cursing himself and his members, because his members were like, oh, wait a minute, I'm sinning. That was normal to him. We got to, I don't know. I mean, I really don't understand how you would even want to say that and then claim that you are the Father. It don't make sense to me. But I'm not that person. It ain't my mindset. I'd like to thank everyone for taking the time to look at this. And prayerfully, you get some learning out of this. It will change mindsets. Because I'm not trying to condemn anybody that believes that, but it's like, whoa, wait a minute, you about to the fire. And like I said before, this in a sense, you saying wasn't done away with, you borderline on blasphemy. Or maybe even on blasphemy. Thank y'all. Sorry. Thank you again for viewing this and listen to me. I'm sure you're going to research. Please do. And if anyone just simply say, okay, go by what I done said, thank you too. End this in prayer, in the Aaronic blessing or Asher. Yahweh bless you and keep you. Make his face shine upon you and give you peace. Selah.